There are haunted places, and then there are places so terrifying that the government literally forbids you from entering after dark. I'm talking about official signs, legal restrictions, the whole deal. Today, we're heading to the deserts of Rajasthan, India, to explore Bhangarh Fort, a place so cursed that locals won't even whisper its name after sunset. This isn't just another ghost story. This is real, this is documented, and honestly, it's absolutely chilling. So we're in the scorching deserts of Rajasthan, India. Among the sand and scrubland sits Bhangarh Fort, this massive 17th century fortress that was once home to royalty, bustling markets, and thousands of people living their daily lives. Today, it's completely abandoned. The temples are crumbling. The palace halls echo with nothing but wind. And here's the kicker. The Archaeological Survey of India, the government body responsible for historical sites, has put up signs around the entire complex that say visitors must leave before sunset. No exceptions. Why would the government do that? What could possibly be so dangerous about old ruins that they need legal restrictions? The locals will tell you it's because of the curse. And once you hear this story, you'll understand why nobody wants to be there when darkness falls. Let's go back to the 1600s. Bhangarh Fort was thriving under the rule of King Madho Singh. The fort was beautiful, powerful, and home to a princess named Ratnavati, described in historical accounts as breathtakingly gorgeous, intelligent, and desired by princes from across the region. Living in the same area was a man named Singhia. He was a tantric, someone who practiced dark magic and occult rituals. And Singhia was completely obsessed with Princess Ratnavati. But he had a problem. He was a commoner, a practitioner of dark arts, and he knew that someone like him could never be with royalty. So he did what any desperate person with magical powers would do. He decided to use black magic to make her fall in love with him. One day, Singhia saw the princess's servant girl buying perfume oil at the local market. This was his chance. He enchanted the oil with a powerful love spell, thinking that once Ratnavati applied it, she'd fall madly in love with him. But Princess Ratnavati wasn't just beautiful. She was smart, really smart. She noticed something was off about the oil. Maybe it had a strange shimmer, maybe it felt wrong. Whatever it was, she immediately suspected foul play. So instead of using it, she threw the entire bottle onto a large boulder nearby. And this is where things get absolutely insane. The boulder, now enchanted with Singhia's spell, began to roll. It picked up speed, rolling faster and faster, heading straight toward the tantric himself. Singhia tried to run, but the boulder crushed him, killing him instantly. But in those final moments, with his dying breath, Singhia screamed out a curse. He cursed the entire fort, everyone in it, and declared that the palace would never be inhabited again. He cursed the souls of Bhangarh to wander in darkness, trapped between life and death, never finding peace. Now you might be thinking, okay, dramatic story, but come on, a curse? Here's the thing. Shortly after Singhia's death, Bhangarh went to war with the neighboring kingdom of Ajabgarh. The battle was brutal and devastating. Princess Ratnavati herself was killed in the conflict, along with thousands of others. The entire fort was destroyed. Everyone died. And after that battle, nobody, and I mean nobody, ever lived in Bhangarh Fort again. The survivors who witnessed the destruction refused to rebuild. Families moved away. The once thriving fortress became a ghost town almost overnight. Even today, nearly 400 years later, there isn't a single village within the fort's boundaries. The closest settlement is about a kilometer away, and even those residents refuse to go near the ruins after dark. So what actually happens at Bhangarh Th? That's so terrifying? The reports are disturbing, to say the least. Visitors who've explored the fort during daylight hours describe an overwhelming feeling of being watched. They talk about sudden temperature drops in the middle of the desert heat. Some people have reported feeling invisible hands touching them or pushing them. But the really creepy stuff? That happens after sunset. Locals living near the fort claim they can hear screaming coming from inside the ruins at night, particularly women's screams. They hear the sound of anklets and bangles, like someone's dancing in the old palace halls. Traditional Indian music echoes through the empty courtyards. Some people report seeing lights moving through the ruins, even though there's no electricity and no one's supposed to be there. And here's what really gets me. There are multiple accounts, multiple documented cases of people who entered the fort after dark and were never seen again. Some were found dead under mysterious circumstances. Others just vanished. The Indian government doesn't mess around with this stuff. Those signs aren't suggestions, they're legal warnings. If you're caught inside Bhangarh Fort after sunset, you can actually be arrested. Think about that for a second. A government agency, dealing with historical sites across an entire country, singled out this one location and said no, this place is too dangerous after dark. Today, Bhangarh Fort is technically a tourist attraction. During the day, you can walk through the ruins, explore the old temples, and see what remains of the palace. Tour guides will take you around and tell you the stories. But as the sun starts to set, you'll notice something. Everyone leaves. The tour guides start hurrying people out. The few vendors who set up shop nearby begin packing up their things. And by the time darkness falls, the only sound you'll hear is the wind howling through those empty stone corridors. The Archaeological Survey tries to downplay the paranormal angle, saying the restrictions are for safety reasons, wild animals, unstable structures, that sort of thing. But locals will tell you the real reason. They'll tell you about the curse. They'll tell you about the screams. And they'll tell you that Princess Ratnavati and all those souls who died that day are still there, trapped by Singhia's final words, unable to rest. So, is Bhangarh Fort really cursed? Is the ghost of a scorned tantric still haunting those ruins? Are the screams people hear just the wind playing tricks, or is it something more? I'll let you decide. But I'll tell you this. If you ever find yourself in Rajasthan and you decide to visit Bhangarh Fort, make sure you leave before sunset. Because some rules exist for a reason. Thanks for watching World of the Unknown. If you want more stories like this from around the globe, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we're just getting started.